Okay, let's talk about the tank a little bit here. You can see I added a fifth night crew up there. I did take the diffusers off. Not the diffusers, but the light shades off. And I have them suspended from the ceiling now, getting rid of all the individualized brackets. Just making it hard. I'm gonna make a screen net top to change there, but just making it hard to like really make my own DIY screen net top. Plus, I think it looks a lot cleaner to have no pedestals. The AFS works just fine, just crazy loud, but the AF4 from IND Aquatics has been working really well. I mean, surprisingly well. I'll say the only problem I have is, let's say you fill it up with like, 50 cubes of food or whatever, and you defrost that down, and the amount of liquid that's in the cubes, it's not enough to like fully use all the food. It kind of like you run out of liquid before it doses the food. So, I have to add more salt water in there probably every couple days. And I think on a full, like a full reservoir, I dose 30 milliliters. How many times a day? I dose 30 milliliters, I think or 3 times a day. So I think it lasts me about, 4 days, somewhere around there. And then I got to fill it again. Okay, livestock in the tank. I did lose the Emperor Angel. I don't know why. He just decided just stop eating. And I kind of recognized he stopped eating. And I tried to fix it. But, I tried to isolate him a bit, target feed him. And he just didn't want any more food. I can't really explain it. I don't know why. He was a good healthy size even when he died. So really weird. No real parasites that I know of because all of my other fish are okay. I did have a bit of a ick scare, and I know ick is in this tank, but I practice ick management at least pretty well. And what I did to kind of like eliminate those numbers, I found out I was running my pump for my 57 watt UV from Aqua UV. Yes, Aqua Ultraviolet. But the pump was running way too slow. It was almost off basically. And by that time I noticed a few of my fish started to develop spots, and I was like, all right, let me get on top of this, see what I can do. I ended up getting another UV just for like the purpose of eliminating the numbers of free swimmers. And I went with a 55 watt, just a Jabao unit there. I also got just a Jabao return pump for it. I think I ran that at like 30%. It's still running at 30%. Still running the Reef mat. It's been doing great. I get these rolls, however, from a place called Precision Converting. And they're significantly cheaper than the Red Sea rolls. And they do an amazing job. Almost too amazing. So I have to adjust the how much it rolls at a time. They will definitely suck up all the gunk, and they're not like I tried the cheap ones off of like AliExpress and stuff like that, and they're okay, but they definitely don't capture a lot of stuff. I just found myself burning through those rolls. I think like every 7 or 8 days I burned through a complete roll. And these things have taken me now to, I believe, about 27, 28 days. So almost a month out of a roll. It's a pretty big deal. And I think the rolls are about $14 a roll that I get from this guy. But it is a company called Precision Converting. You'll see I have 2 skimmers in here. That's a change. I'm running this one for ozone. That's my regular old DC 900 there. There's my ozone input line. Yeah, I got a mess. I got a cord mess. It is what it is. Any excess that comes out, I'll set it up so it doesn't skim anything. If anything gets in this cup, it just kind of drips down here. Any residual ozone is then caught by the carbon reactor. And I think I run this ozone throughout the night, like 5 or 6 hours a night. And over here, you'll see it is the Poseidon 200 from Ozotech. I believe I run that on a 5. Yep. So that's currently where my ORP is right there, and it goes up in the middle of the night. So I guess for the size tank I have and the amount of air being pulled by that skimmer, I would expect that number to be a bit higher. So I'm kind of looking at that and see what's going on. Another change I've had too is my pH is definitely higher, and that is because of this. I'm running Kalkwasser. I got rid of the single dosing stuff, from what you call it? Tropic Marin off Reef. Yes. So I was using that. I had that doser like set up right here, and it was just became way too expensive. This stuff is just crazy dirt cheap. I think I've been on like the same scoops now for I don't even know how long. It's been a long while. And yes, this is the Bubble Mattress. I believe it's the KA 200 or the KA 150. I can't remember, but it's a good sized unit. I'm feeding it with that Versa back there, and it's got a decent drip rate on it, so it does well. This side's just not looking too good, and a lot of cyano in there. Probably need to get more flow in there. Definitely more flow. You can see my Kato ball back there is looking like it needs some help. Another thing I will say that ever since they updated the NP, it's kind of crammed in there. I need to reorganize this. Ever since they did the update for the NP, you can calibrate it to like, your other test kits or HANAs or whatever. That thing's been freaking rock solid, man. I used to constantly have problems with that thing, giving me weird numbers, or like my nitrate will be at like, 50, and I'll test it on the HANA kit and it'll be like 10. And then my phosphates will be 0. And then I'll test those with the HANA checker and it'll be like, 0.10 or 0.20. Or it's just, I had issues before the update. The update definitely helped solve some of that craziness. Still doing auto water changes with the dose. That thing's been like all the doses. I mean, it's been pretty good. I haven't had an issue even on the first gen dose. I never really had any issues either. So on to the livestock. Everybody's doing pretty good. I don't know why that one Chromis has to just hide in there. I mean, he's still alive, so he's still eating something, but he does not hang out with any of these other guys. And just out of the blue one day, they started just living in there. I don't know. Lobo as well. GSP going crazy. I probably really need to start thinking about what I'm gonna do with this, because it's gonna be getting to the nuisance stage here pretty soon. I got me a couple cleaner wrasses, so they're new to the tank. All this is over here, this Monopora, Zoas. SPS is filling in pretty good. It's kind of growing out well. I'm kind of wishing I did something different here with that green Monopora there. That Ritterai anemone I've had for, gosh, I think maybe 7 years. So I'm not doing anything different there. That rock is absolutely his. All of my SPS over here is doing okay. You can see that one I got here. I think it's like some Fiji coral that I got from corals.com. It's been like that since I've had it, and I've had it for a long time. But it still grows out on the outside edges over there, so it still does. Get out of the way. It still does okay, and it still has decent polyp extension. It just seems to get a little crusty on that edge, and I don't know what's going on with that. Still running just regular old MP40s for flow in this thing. Thinking about adjusting them and maybe trying to get a bit of a different flow pattern in there. But they do work good. They put plenty of flow in there. I like the MP40s. Again, like everybody else likes the MP40s, right? The no-show wires in the tank, right? That's a huge plus. I've yet to try the Jabal ones though. I've heard decent things about them, and I've also heard some crappy stuff. Maybe I'll try one. You'll also notice this guy. He's also new, doing super awesome. Eats like a hog. As soon as the food's in there, he's just all over it. Where's my copper band? I don't know where he is right now. He's somewhere in there. But all the livestock's doing well. Everybody eats pretty good. My Naso is, I guess we can assume she's a female now. She's a decent size, and I don't see any streamers, so I still love her though. I've had her for a long time. There you are. I don't know if he's got lymphocytis on the top there. That's probably what it is, but A lot of copper bands have that. This guy does really good too. Eats like crazy. Probably the first copper band that I've had that just eats a ridiculous amount of food. Another thing I'm gonna have to kind of focus on here pretty soon is like how close these corals are starting to grow and almost touch each other. You'll see they're pretty close. Even that Monty there, that guy pretty close. I got a couple SPS over here. They're almost gonna, just about doing the ET finger touch here. Oh, another quick thing about ozone. So I'm using an air dryer on this, which is on the other side of that wall, and I'll show you that now. All right, there it is, the Jumbo Ozone air dryer from BRS. This thing holds a crazy amount of silica beads. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be as big as it is when I got the box. I was like, well, that's a decent sized box. And I pulled that out of there. I was like, yeah, that is a huge air dryer. But seriously, I can run this thing for a good long while and only have to regenerate the beads every so often. I do want to change up my my system here for making my water. It's just the resin chambers are just really small, so I won't say burn through them, but I could use bigger ones, and that way it probably last a bit longer. What are you doing up there? I don't use you anymore. Man, my salt bin's looking crusty. For the chiller on the tank, this thing's been a beast, man. I mean, I run it in turbo mode whenever it does come on, and that's the brand right there. I did get that off of Amazon, I believe. But this thing's been a champ. I check the air filter in the front every so often, and just to make sure, because my dogs running around, man, and they get freaking hair all over the place, and I just don't want to. This thing is a kind of a lifeline for my tank, and I need it to work. But I think it comes on probably 2 times a day, and it probably runs for maybe an hour. It'll take that tank. It comes on at 78.4 degrees, takes the tank down to 76.4 degrees. Maybe an hour and a half is about the run time 2 times a day. All right, I got a tad sidetracked. So when I was talking about the ick in the tank, what I did to battle the numbers is I did put 2 diatom filters in here. They were just marine land filters. And I put them in there, and I would coat them in diatomaceous earth powder. I'd have to change them out every couple of days, but everything I could to absorb those free swimmers in that filter media, and then rinse that out. I think I soak them in fresh water, and then I'd fill them in or charge them again with that diatomaceous earth. And so along with ozone and that reaction chamber, that's the skimmer, hopefully doing some damage to the free swimming theronts. 2 UVs, diatomaceous earth, and the diatom filters. And I also ran peroxide salts for like 60 days. Okay, so I think the directions on the Polyp Lab Reef Medic is what it's called. I think it had you run it for like 20 days. I ran it for 60 days. And I have to say, man, like, out of all of that extra work, oh, and I made a sand bed cleaner that comes out of the tank through a tube into a sediment filter. I think I did 10 micron sediment filter with the pump, and so I didn't lose any water. I just did it enough that if there was any free swimmers stuck on the sand or encrusted tomots on the sand, I was able to get them out, get them stuck in the canister, and then that'd be another method of reducing numbers. So to me, it's all about reducing the available free swimming ick that can attach to my fish. And I have to say, it's been some weeks, and I haven't seen not one single spot on any of my fish. Whereas before, I had a good period of time where, I'd have one that would be like the sailfin there. He'd be covered in spots. And then, of course, all those encysted ick would fall down and get off his body. And then it'd be the next fish, and then another fish, and then it'd be 2 or 3 fish at one time. So it was rough. It was a hard time. And I hate seeing a fish like that, man. I know you all do too, but that's what I did to combat it. A series of things to get on top of that. And, of course, with a reef, I don't want to have my reef empty for 90 days. I know that's probably the best way, but this seemed to work for me for now. I guess, I'll kind of update that as we go along. All right, on to the other 2 tanks in the back. 3 tanks in the back. Actually, I have 4 other tanks, right, than my main display. Old Gen 1 Night Cruise. These things are like killers, man. They just won't die. I've had them for a long time, freaking long time. They just won't die. That's a nori for the convict I have in here. I have another copper band and another copper band. Why, you might ask? Well, on my LFS, look, man, they just had them all there and I wanted them all, okay? I can't really, there's no explanation for it. They're just cool. They all eat really well. So it's like, did I get the trifecta of good eating copper bands? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. UV sitting in the back. The convict is looking, I don't know, kind of weird. Maybe. I've only had him for a few days, so we'll see. First time keeping a convict, but he explores, he eats. Not as good as I would like, but he's new, so we'll see. Those clowns are in there, just regular old Ocellaris. I've had them for a while. I definitely need to clean my acrylic front here. You know what? I don't even know if I explained these tanks to you. These are Luna Frag tanks, right? They're made for like tanks to go to like to a show or something and show off frags. I just kind of converted them into like holding tanks or quarantine tanks, a quarantine system, which I'm sure they're technically not quarantine systems. I guess observing the fish, because there are zoas and an anemone in there. Old school skimmer I've had laying around for a while. I decided to throw it in this tank for extra oxygenation and gather any waste, right? Got a little bit of cyano going on in here, so I got to get on my cyano problems. I built these stands, just 2x4s. My makeshift ATO bucket there, and some pretty basic. They're both the same. This is just plexiglass here that I painted. I attached some magnets to it, and there you go, like a little makeshift stand. Yeah, I guess the theme here is, as you can tell, they don't get enough algae scraping on the glass as my main display, but there's a couple skunks, clownfish in there. There is a yellow watchman, goby, hey you, and a pistol shrimp in there. And this is just a 20-gallon Fiji Cube Peninsula. It's got a couple of AI primes on it. Small skimmer. There is UV running on this tank too, so I really want to do something better with this tank. Maybe go ahead and get a nicer stand for it and set it out in my living room somewhere and really turn this into a really small display. I'm sure I'll do that in the future because I like the tank. It just needs a little bit of love. All right, April 4th was my birthday. My wife got me this little guy. Little PMW Customs little tiny tank. There is a couple of guys in there. I think I got one hermit and a couple of those little, right? You know what? Where's the other one? The sand bed's not really deep enough to accommodate, their needs, but he's got to be buried up under the edge of that rock there. But this thing is pretty cool. I like it a lot, actually. Didn't think I would as much as I do, but it's pretty neat. So I don't know what I'll do with this. Maybe in time, try some smaller corals in it. I know what I'll get me to do. I'll give me an apex on it. We'll get a heater and an ATO on it. We'll just SPS, full on SPS reef this thing. Anyways. All right, so that was the update. It might have been a little long, but I just wanted to kind of give an update on what's been going on with the tank, things I've added, things I've taken away, livestock I've added, livestock that didn't make it. Changes in the future, things I would like to see different. All this is going to be going away. I just can't get it, man. But I still do love the tank. Again, Red Sea S-1000. This is a G2 Plus. I check my silicone every day. Like, I don't know why, but I've read enough, But this was the update. They don't come too frequent, but I do what I can in the time that I have, and I have a job outside of this, and even this alone takes up a lot of that time outside of the work time. But stay tuned for more, and appreciate you watching.